Hello friends, thanks for tuning into this week's video. This one's a brain food about the concept of when it comes to technology, you're never too old to learn new tricks. And you know, I love getting inspiration from real world situations for these ideas for these videos, and this one came from a recent peer group that I was in, and I'll share more about that in just a second. But if you're not aware, my name's Jason Terry. Welcome to the channel if you're new here. The company's called Blue Gurus, and I've been doing this stuff for about 15 years now. I put out a video or a story about once a week that's a tech tip, marketing tip, or a brain food thought leadership like this one's going to be today. So the point of this one today, again, you're never too old to learn new tricks. I hope that you're still with me, because sometimes people read that title or don't even watch the video on something like this. They're like, yeah, I got it. But this one is critically important if you'll stick with me through this one. So think about when you were 25, 35, maybe even to your early 40s, you were always learning new things, and you wanted to learn new things because you had so many years of work left ahead of you when you're in your 30s and 40s that you always wanted to bring on new skills, learn new things, and stay up to speed with what everybody else was doing. But as you get into your mid to late 40s and into your 50s, like I am, and into your 60s, I think that many people would agree you start kind of getting set in your ways, and part of that I think is because you start giving less of a crap about what other people think. So it's always important to continually learn, and I've got people I could name, I won't name names, but KM, you're one of those people I'm thinking of, who are always, despite how old they are or whatever, always wanting to learn new things. And so we were talking about this concept in a peer advisory group lately, and one of the guys said, a mentor of mine told me, when it comes to technology, never act like you're old. And what he meant by that was, old people typically are like, oh, that newfangled device or that newfangled thing, I don't understand it, so I'm not going to learn it, I'm not even going to try to learn it. And that's a huge problem as you start putting up those walls. So some of the videos, if you go through the past and look at the tech tip things, like on Window V, that's that global Windows copy paste, or window arrow keys that snaps Windows to the half of the screen and all that stuff. If you don't adopt those things and make them part of your daily routine, you're missing a huge opportunity to be more efficient, make your life easier, and just be quicker with the work that you're doing. And gosh, who doesn't want their life to be easier? But the hard part is changing your behaviors. Gosh, don't I know it, because I've been doing this thing where I'm eating healthier and walking more and all this stuff, and building those habits is one of those things you really have to focus on. And so I realized all of this was coming together for this brain food today of, I really hope that you are always trying to learn new things, and hopefully my channel and other channels like it on YouTube are one of those sources for new ideas and concepts about, well, for example, I recently did a presentation. For the very first time, I did a presentation on artificial intelligence in small businesses. And it went really well, and I was encouraged by the room. There were 26 people that were probably between their 40s and 65s-ish, mid-60s, in the room, and they paid a lot of attention. They laughed and joked and were very interested in the information, and that was very encouraging for me to see people like, oh, that was really helpful. Thank you for the information, and please send me your notes afterwards for follow-up and all that kind of stuff. So I was glad to see that there are definitely people still willing to learn. But I know that, like that video I mentioned, the Window V video, I put that out and tons of people like it and comment it, but I know there's people that are using it because they've told me, but I'm sure that there's a whole bunch of people that heard that, thought that was cool, and then got off YouTube, whatever device you were watching this on, and went about their day and forgot about the tip because you didn't implement it. And that's okay, it's gonna happen, but there are probably so many things out there. For example, gosh, there's just so many things to talk about in this video. One of the funny things is, you'll probably some of you will recognize this. This is actually a check register. And I still manually balance my checkbook. Why? Because I really like the process of writing the numbers and feeling like I'm getting through life and paying my way for things and satisfying all the things I'm responsible for. It's a weird thing. I'm a technology person, so yes, I was using Mint to sync everything, and then they got bought by QuickBooks, and they kind of ruined that product, and so now I'm with Monarch Money, which basically is a great replacement for Mint. And so I do balance everything and see all my balances and all the accounts and all the net worth and all that stuff using Monarch Money, so it's all automated. but I still like manually balancing my checkbook with a register. And so it's okay to keep some of those things that are comfortable for you, but it's also important to adopt the new things. So that was the idea for today, is just take stock as you're sitting there thinking, as you've gotten through this video, when I hear something new, what is the process that I'm using to make a note of that? What am I doing to capture that idea, to research it later on how do I do that? Or how can I use Window V, V as in Victor, instead of Control V when I'm pasting stuff? How am I going to break myself of the habit of using Control V to paste things and using Window V instead? And that's just one tiny example of the hundreds of things in a given year that you're probably presented with that could help you be much more faster, efficient, just smarter, work smarter. That you might just miss the opportunity if you don't have a way to adopt new technologies, new things, try new software out. AI, go, if people are talking about image generation with AI like Midjourney and different things like that, maybe you need to go try it and see what it's about, because it's amazing when you see what it can do. So, gosh, it's important to keep going with this technology and new behaviors, right? You will have a longer life and a more fulfilled life if you approach daily things like that, where you're always learning new things. I hope that was helpful. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up on the YouTube video, and a comment would be great if you liked this. And if you got to the end of this, the word for the day is going to be business card. So please throw me a business card in the comments if you got to the end of this one. And I really appreciate you taking the time to be on this journey with me and watching the content. I'll see you next time.